Hello, and welcome to this presentation on advanced placement at Archbishop O'Leary High School. We're going to go through a few things today, looking at what is AP, in case you're not exactly sure what it refers to, the benefits of taking AP in high school, the courses that are available at Archbishop O'Leary, and also FUDs. We'll get there, I promise. So, to start off, what is AP? Well, the AP is really based on cooperation between two organizations. Fundamentally, that's what we need to look at. First of all, there's the College Board, which is based in New York. And back in the 1950s, they looked at how high school students coming out of their programs were entering some of the colleges in the United States, like Stanford, for example, and they had covered content that was pretty close to what they were seeing in their first year courses. So, in conversation with those colleges, they said, what can we do that would actually meet a standard where you'd be willing to offer those high school students credit for 100 level courses based on the work they did in high school? And that was the beginning of the advanced placement program. Um, to this day, it's the College Board that oversees how those curricula are set up to match between what the high school is doing and what a first year level university or college course would be. And they are also the ones that create the AP exams that are used to make sure that at the end of a sequence of courses, the students have achieved that level. Now, in addition to what the College Board then is doing to organize everything, there's the high schools, like Archbishop O'Leary. The teachers at our high school have to create a syllabus that matches the requirements set forward by the College Board, while at the same time making sure that we are meeting the Alberta content. Because our main purpose, our legal responsibility is always to make sure that we're meeting the requirements of Alberta education and the program of study set out in all of the courses. So the students then go to our classes in the AP program, and they cover the Alberta content while at the same time getting that enrichment material, if you want to think of it that way, from the AP content. And we do that throughout a regular semester. Now, the other thing that I always emphasize is we have these students for 3 years, so we don't have to do everything in one shot, in one semester or 1 year. Most of our programs are across an entire 3 years. Then, at the end of a sequence of courses, so typically like English 10, 20, and 30 AP, the student is in grade 12, and in the first 2 weeks of May, they write their AP exams, which are separate from diplomas, separate from everything else that the students do to get their Alberta transcript mark. It is completely separate. So, why would a student take AP courses instead of the regular Dash 1 classes? Well, first of all, we can look at some of the advantages while they're at O'Leary itself. Basically, the first thing I'd always point out is they're surrounded by like-minded students. And what I'm just asking you to consider, and I'm not trying to speak negatively of a regular Dash 1 class, but consider that the requirement to get into that class is usually a mark of about 60% or higher. So when a student who is academically gifted and motivated is sitting in that class, they are surrounded by students that are potentially perfectly happy with getting 60 something in their coursework. They're not necessarily as highly motivated to succeed. They're also unfortunately going to be the students that the teacher has to constantly go back and cycle back onto the same material again and again, which for an academically motivated student is just going to be boring. So if they're in an AP class where all of the students are really gung-ho about learning and they've all got that same sort of focus on getting to post-secondary after high school, it's great because they support each other. The teacher can typically move through material more quickly because they don't need to cycle back on things quite so much. It's more supportive to that student in that classroom. Second, there's accelerated completion of courses or diplomas. And what I mean by that is that in some courses, like for example, doing Math AP, when the student is in grade 11, they'll actually have written their Math 30-1 diploma in grade 11. I'll come back to that when I speak specifically about Math AP momentarily, but it does give that opportunity to get through some of the coursework even faster than they would in the regular classes. Second chance on diploma course marks refers to how, in a typical diploma course that is also an AP course, colleges and universities will usually look at an AP exam mark and they'll use that in place of whatever the student got on their blended class and diploma mark. And it can be used as, if it's higher, as the mark that the university or college recognizes as their 30 level final completion mark. Also, I would always say to people that at O'Leary, one of the biggest advantages is just taking advantage of everything else that O'Leary has to offer, whether it's our foods program, automotives, working out in our sports center, taking a course like sports med or getting involved in drama, all of those sorts of things, the clubs that we have, they're all part of the O'Leary advantage. Now, going beyond that, what about when a student progresses to university? First of all, the most important thing is those students are simply better prepared for the university experience. The jump from grade 9 to 10 is certainly a lot. The jump from grade 12 to university, even more so. And anything we can do to get the students prepared for that is just awesome. And recently, College Board Canada actually completed a multi-year study looking at students at the University of Alberta and UBC and found that of all of the students that were entering into first year, the AP students were scoring 11% higher overall on their grades, and also multi-year were showing that they had a 13% higher chance of completing their program and graduating. There is also the opportunity that if a student scores well enough on their AP exams, they will be granted 100 level course credit at university for whatever course they were in. So, for example, if a student completes the English AP cycle all the way through to grade 12, writes their AP exam, and scores a 4 or a 5 out of 5, they'll get 100 level credit on their Alberta, or I should say on their university transcript for having already completed 100 level English course at the university level, which means they can skip it entirely, or sometimes what those students will do is they'll decline that credit, they'll take the course in university and ace it because they've seen all that material before. Also, some universities are switching to more of a points-based admission system, like a lot of the colleges in the United States, where you have to show beyond just marks what you've accomplished in your high school years to be able to get entry. This is happening quite a bit in universities out east, but it is something that we're seeing starting to pop up in other universities as well, and certainly at colleges in the United States. And AP is a definite plus to put onto that. And then, as far as academic standing goes, there is actually a designation that can be given by the College Board itself called AP Scholar. To be an AP Scholar, you have to have written a minimum of 3 exams, and you have to have scored a mark of 3 or higher on all exams. Here at O'Leary, we actually recognize that with a $500 cash reward that is given by our Parent Advisory Committee, and it is something that can be put down on university and college admissions also. Now, for the courses that we offer here at O'Leary, in the CTS realm, we do offer AP Computer Science, which students will typically take regular computer science with a little bit of enrichment through their first couple of years, and then the AP class is in their grade 12 year. Excuse me. In fine arts, we have AP drawing and 3D art and design. AP drawing is what you think of as when you think of probably a typical art class where you're drawing, painting, sketching, those sorts of things. And then AP 3D art and design for us at O'Leary is a ceramics-based course where you're producing 3D works of art. In the humanities, we have AP English, which is actually one of our most popular courses because in university, everybody has to take English. And then I always mention Fast Track Social, which is not technically an AP course, but a lot of our AP students take it. We don't offer AP Social because social or the AP program is based out of the United States, all of their social studies material is American based. So we just don't offer it. For math, like I'd said before, it's kind of a multi step process. In grade 10, the student takes Math 10 CAP. In grade 11, they take both Math 20-1 AP and 30-1 AP in the 2 semesters. That way, they've written a diploma while they're in grade 11, so they've got that out of the way. But it also gives them the opportunity in grade 12 to focus on either AP statistics or AP calculus. And we usually recommend one or the other. And the one that actually fits with most post secondary programs better is AP statistics, actually. So it is the recommended one. And then in science, we have AP biology, AP chemistry, and AP psychology. Psychology is actually our most popular course in the entire AP program, and that's because in 5 credits of time, the students earn 6 credits on their Alberta transcript, and for the purpose of being used at university, it can count in either the Faculty of Arts or the Faculty of Science. Now, FUDs. That's something that is an acronym for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's kind of those ideas that students have of why they don't want to take AP. And I get that, doing the transition to grade 10 is a bit daunting in and of itself. And so being told you're also going to do this AP program can also cause some fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Now, mark wise, a lot of times students will say to me, but I thought I need like a 95 to be in there. The recommendation to go through the AP stream is 80% or higher. That's always our recommendation. And we'll certainly look at individual students, even if their mark is a little bit below that if they're looking at doing a full AP program, we can still maybe work something out for them. Also, a lot of students think that taking AP will lower their mark, and so they'll just go into the regular class. Actually, we are required by law to only give a grade to a student on their report card based on them completing Alberta curriculum. So they write the same exams, they do the same quizzes and labs and everything like that as the regular classes. So they should get the same mark. The AP content, when it might be covered on an extra assignment or something like that, is usually for bonus marks at the teacher's discretion. So it's actually an opportunity for them to do better than they would have in the regular class. Now, a lot of students will say, well, it's too hard. Nobody actually passes those AP exams. Last year, we had 108 students writing, and of those students, we had 27 that got 4s or 5s on their AP exams. And if you count students that got marks of 3, it's an additional 33 students. Now, the reason I include students that got a 3 is because a lot of universities and colleges in the States will accept a mark of 3 for granting that 100 level transfer credit. Some students will say, but I don't want to take all AP classes, to which I'll say, sure, then don't. The great thing about AP is you get to pick which courses you want to take in AP. You don't have to take all of them, so focus on where your strengths are. And then I get people saying, but I know somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody that took AP and they just didn't like it and they dropped out of it in grade 11, took regular classes. Yeah, that happens. And so maybe AP isn't for everybody. That's true. But how about this? Try AP if you've got the marks to go into it. And then if you find it isn't the best fit for you, you can always switch down to the regular -1 classes in grade 11. It's harder to switch up. It's not impossible, but it is harder. And then finally, at the university level, won't universities judge me badly if I do bad on those AP exams? Nope, not at all. In fact, they want you to do AP because you're the student that's going to be more successful and probably get through all of your program at university. They encourage you to take AP. And even if your mark is bad, they don't care. It's only the marks of 4s and 5s where they actually have to kind of look at it and say, oh, yeah, we're going to have to maybe grant this person credits. Universities don't notice you took AP. Of course they do. They have special recruiters for it. They have a special breakfast at the U of A every year before their open house. And like I said before, some universities are using it as part of their admission process now. Very definitely, universities and colleges notice if you took AP. So Thank you very much for watching this presentation, and if you have any questions, please contact the AP coordinator at Archbishop O'Leary. Thank you.